think I'm probably more excited about this print than I should be. I always like the idea of doing the doing separate color plates, you know, with big black ink, and then you can always adjust it with the colors on the screen. It's just, and it's beautiful. I mean, everything is based on a photo, and but depending on where it is, or what stage the painting is at, I'll work sometimes with the photo, and sometimes I'll just work the image without reference for a little while, just to kind of I don't know, just to kind of to allow me in the piece, I guess, more. It doesn't, because the idea of just doing a photorealistic piece doesn't appeal to me. And so if I'm kind of just working from my own memory of the subject, then I'm going to have much more of a personal connection with it. Hopefully everybody else will too. I never think about deadlines or anything like that. The moment I start thinking of time, everything changes, and the painting loses somewhere. You know, not to get overly poetic, but yeah, it's like knowing that you're going to sit down with with an old friend or someone close to you and have a drink and have a conversation. You start looking at the clock, you're not giving yourself the full, I don't know, benefit of really exploring anything. So every once in a while on a painting, I'll start experimenting or really doing some fun stuff, and that makes me want to try that in comics, and I'll run over and work on a page for a little while.
Do you still read comics too?
I do. Not as many. And that's just because I think there's just not that. At least I don't get to come across many good ones. But I still, if anything, I've kind of in the last year been re-inspired, I guess, by them. I still think it's an incredible medium. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably wind up doing them till the day I die. It's such an amazing storytelling medium. I mean, it's great writing and great art that sync up together. It's kind of writing and directing your own film that's budgetless. You know, you don't have to worry about producers, you don't have to worry about actors, you don't have to worry about a budget. It's just you and whatever great story that you can tell. Years ago, I would go to conventions in Chicago and stuff and ask the local guys if they wanted to go to the museums with me, and they just looked at me as though, I used to just make the joke, they looked at me as though I asked them to read something. Like they just, like museums, oh. No, we like comics. Like they had this incredible exhibition at Pepperdine. That was all
Linedecker.
Yeah, and these guys, holy shit, they could paint. Cornwall and Pyle and Wyeth, you know, these guys are classic and timeless because they know art, they know painting, they know craftsmanship. And comics and illustration nowadays teaches you to only look at comics and illustration, and that's boring as shit to me. The best work is when you pull something outside of the medium into your work. The best comic book art I know, some of the best comic book art I've seen is from non-comic book artists. I made a transition 2 years ago. I dropped out of a book project that I was supposed to be doing, and it's the first time I've ever bailed on a book, but it was at a time when I really started showing more with 101, and it got to the point where the industry itself, the comics industry, was just so, the way I was feeling in it was just so fucking frustrating. And I told the publisher, I was like, I'm gonna be a painter. I was like, I can't do this anymore. You guys, if you want to do art in an entertainment industry, the uphill battle that you have, whether it's film, whether it's music, whether it's comics, is just a pain in the ass, because you have to deal with what the brass knows is really gonna make some cash. And last year, or 2 years ago, I really got fed up with it and bailed. And I kind of felt that I was done until last year actually. Last year I did a project that, even though the project was kind of fun, it made me realize that I wanted to still do comics. I just wanted to approach it in a different way from now on. I want comics to be fulfilling on a personal level.